This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for getting up with us on this Sunday. I'm Galen Etlin. This morning here on Sunrise, a local business owner is telling her story about the recent uptick in crime. Hear what she's asking for after a recent meeting with city leaders. Plus, we've talked this weekend about the rising car thefts, another one of those big crimes. Turns out some thieves are using a new technique to get you out of your car. Going to tell you about that deception and how you can avoid it. First, though, our Keely Chalmers joins us live at home with our forecast. Cool but pleasant out there this morning.
Yeah, and we're in store for a little bit of rain here in the valley in the metro area. Most of the rain isolated to the coast and up in the higher elevations. But let's take you outside right now where we've got cloudy skies. We're sitting at 51 degrees. We've got some fog in some areas out there this morning as well, mainly in the valley. South of the metro area. Here's how your day is shaping up. 58 degrees by noon with a slight chance for some light rain. But really, it's looking like the model's showing us now that the light rain doesn't really move into the valley until the afternoon hours. We're going to be cooler than yesterday, but still fairly pleasant. 60 degrees for a high today. We do have some warmer weather, some drier weather, and a series of storms moving in to talk about. We'll get to that in just a bit. Galen.
Action-packed. All right, Keely, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Well, our top story here, many small businesses in Portland are months deep into some big challenges. And for Urbanite and Southeast, the last few weeks have been devastating. It's dealt with a break-in, graffiti, and limited response from the city. So KGW's Art Edwards reports that owner is not alone.
But it's sad that you have to predict when the next break-in is going to be and if they're going to do it the same way.
This has been a difficult time for Rachel Coyote and her store Urbanite. It's on Southeast Grand between Yamhill and Taylor. It's what she calls a lifestyle store. 54 small businesses under one roof, makers selling their wares to customers. It's been here for nearly 5 years.
It was important to come home and start a business that supported my small community.
Just over a week ago, someone broke in while the store was closed and stole thousands of dollars of merchandise. After that, other people simply walked in and took what they wanted.
And plink, 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 plink.
A few days later, someone shot at windows, hitting 11 with pellets.
You can see crack that window, you can see the top shot, and then those two and that one, and then there's a couple more up higher you can't see.
This morning, she came to work to find that someone had tagged the front of the building. An out-of-state production company planned to pay Urbanite to use the building as a backdrop in an ad campaign.
Well, the assistant said, I told you we shouldn't shoot in Portland. Like, that's depressing.
They canceled the shoot.
I spent a lot of this morning crying.
She says it's beginning to get disheartening.
It's really been hard. I mean, when you have to limit your hiring because you're repairing your building, when you have to come to work every Sunday to paint your building, when you have coworkers who are being threatened on their way to work, when you have fellow small business owners who are being threatened with weaponry, who are locked in their building, who are suffering in every single way.
Coyote says her business is not alone.
We have small businesses who are telling us one story after another every single day, and at some point it starts to break your heart so much you wonder if you should leave.
We have 1,100 police officers and about 700.
During the week, Sam Adams from the city of Portland took part in a meeting with local business owners at Urbanite to talk about their concerns. Coyote says they've been told to look into putting bars on their windows and hiring private security.
The support for the real people who are paying the taxes is invisible.
What she and others would like to see is a physical and fiscal response from the city, because the problems as they stand right now are not going away. Art Edwards, KGW News.
And of course, another issue we're following is Portland's record gun violence. We are now past a new milestone this morning. On Saturday, Police Chief Chuck Lavelle sent out this message saying Portland has passed 1,000 shootings in the city so far this year. Lavelle said they're working to set up a team to de-escalate tensions in the community and reduce that violence. Now, the latest big shooting was Friday night near the Gresham border at 165th in Maine. Investigators found more than 50 casings and 4 live rounds. Multiple bullets hit a mailbox, fence, and 4 cars parked on the block. And for one family, the scariest moment was truly when a bullet went through their home.
We were in the living room watching TV like 5 minutes before everything happened, and our living room was the one that was striked. So we were thankful that nothing happened and everybody is safe.
Now, for context, police say it does not look like any of the places hit by bullets this time were the intended targets, but they're still investigating. Anyone with information is asked to contact Portland police. And gun violence is also an issue in Vancouver. Clark County deputies responded to 5 Corners around 10:30 Friday night for a drive-by shooting. They arrived to find someone inside a home shot in the leg. That person believes they were followed home by a stranger who shot at them several times, mostly hitting their car. Witnesses say the person involved took off in a red or orange SUV or hatchback. The Clark County Sheriff's Office is asking people to come forward with information about that. And local police are also warning you about a trick thieves are using to steal cars. They say this week alone, there have been 4 incidents in Southeast Portland. Victims describe 2 to 4 teenagers running up to their car, yelling and sometimes banging on the vehicle. They yell that something is wrong with the car or hanging out the back. So when the driver gets out to check, they jump in and take off.
Just get out of the area if you can. We certainly recommend people don't get out of their car, lock their doors, and drive away to a safe location if they can. If that's not possible, if they feel like they're stuck, then they can certainly call for help. If they have a cell phone, you can call 911. We'll come and give you a hand.
Police say thieves appear to be targeting mostly women who are driving alone, and they ask if you know anything about these recent crimes to contact police as well. Oregon communities ravaged by wildfires now face some major financial cuts in schools. Districts were really counting on money from the state, but it never came. Our Christine Pitawanich explains.
In Oregon, each student in a school district brings a certain amount of money. Well, when fires tore through Oregon in 2020, it forced many families out of their homes and in some cases out of their school districts.
We lost 12% of our kids who just left.
Todd Miller is the superintendent of the Santiam Canyon School District. He and his superintendent colleagues across the state in the McKenzie and Phoenix Talent school districts oversee schools in communities still recovering from 2020's fires.
Membership was about 225 students, and this fall we're currently at about 170 students.
You know, we lost 2,400 homes. Immediately 700 of our students became homeless overnight.
Brent Berry says Phoenix Talent schools are currently down 350 students. It's taking a financial toll.
That's approaching about, over $3 million.
That's why this legislation, known as the Enrollment Stability Bill, is so important. It would allow school districts and communities dealing with the fallout of last year's fires to use enrollment numbers from the previous school year to get funding. But despite bipartisan support and reassurance it would pass, it never did.
And it ended up just dying in committee. And what we were told is there was just miscommunication.
We adopted a budget with the assurance that this funding would come through.
We're looking at about $300,000, give or take, short. So that causes some sleepless nights.
They have faith lawmakers will pull through. But for now, they're in limbo and thinking about the future if the bill doesn't pass.
It's about 80 cents to every dollar goes to, staff.
And in a small district, people are programs. And so the last thing that we want to do is dropping a teacher in our districts means dropping a program.
I just can't imagine if this doesn't come to fruition in the legislative session. It'll be a devastating effect on our students, our families, our community, our staff. And we're just holding out hope.
Yeah, at this point, they're dipping into money they've got saved up. But the superintendents I spoke with say they're hoping the state's emergency board passes the bill for at least the next year. Then, when the next legislative session starts, they're hoping lawmakers will give districts the help they need. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
Well, some big changes are coming to the historic Columbia River Highway State Trail. So next, we're going to show you the work crews are doing on that new Mitchell Point tunnel after this.